Trail talk time. Out on another beauty of a trail. Just breathing in that fresh chi. Sending everyone limitless love. And today I wanted to talk about 4 lessons that I got from doing live performances. You know, I've been performing a lot lately, and I've been relating a lot of these lessons to keys that we can take for, let's say, business. So the first lesson is to be yourself. That's just a key to life, right? You don't have to try and be like anybody else. I often see a lot of times, artists, especially in the rap world, are trying to put on this facade and act like they're somebody else. And it can be fun to play characters and to act and everything like that, right? It's part of the creative process, but a lot of people are claiming that they're a certain way and they're really not, right? Rapping like they're real hard and gangster, and they're not. And eventually people can kind of figure that out, and you might not last long. So if you want to stick around, you got to be yourself and be authentic. And that's important in this life. People can feel that authenticity and they can now connect with you. And that's really important, in the world of business as well, is to be authentic and to represent yourself properly. And the second lesson that I learned is, you get what you basically put out. You get back what you put out. If you want the crowd to really, give you some energy, then you got to give them some energy first, right? You can't just expect them to be the most hype crowd ever and you're, doing nothing. You're just basically quiet and shy. You got to open yourself up. And, that's important in the business world as well. You gotta give people some value if you want to get it back. The more value that you provide, then people will be grateful for that, and they'll, want to reciprocate and say, wow, you just gave me so much value. That deserves my hard-earned money, right? And sometimes a good key for that is to provide value and not expect anything back, right? When you just keep giving, it's funny because sometimes people have this thing within them that it's like, if you give them so much value, they have something that feels like, I should give them something back here. Like, I shouldn't just be taking all this from them for free. So that's another key, is that especially when you're starting out, just keep providing value to people and don't expect anything back. Give them stuff for free. And then they'll, start to appreciate that more and start to respect you more for that. And then hopefully start to give you something back eventually, right? And another beautiful lesson that I learned is just to keep it moving, right? You can stand there still on a stage and, still put on a great show. There's been many live performances like that, of course, but, if you really want that extra engagement, then you got to keep it moving and keep people on their toes, right? Keep them on the edge of their seats. And this is important in the business world as well, is to keep on growing, keep progressing and expanding. There may be certain things that are very concrete, to establish yourself as a brand, as a business that people can recognize you for, right? But at the same time, it's good to continue to grow and, to figure out how to become better as a business, to keep on learning. And a good way for that is to just get some feedback from people, right? In the business world, they do a lot of surveys to survey people and figure out what's working, what's not, figure out what suggestions people might have. And that way you can really learn how to optimize your business and continue to grow in better ways. That's a big key. And the last lesson that I've learned from all of these performances is to know your audience. Know your audience when you're performing. Let's say I'm performing in front of a bunch of kids or something. I'm not gonna bust out the songs that have all this explicit lyrics and everything like that. You know what I mean? You gotta know who you're performing for. And in the business world, it's the same thing. You can't, unless you get lucky, or, certain businesses might have this, but you're not gonna be completely universal. Your whole world isn't going to be your audience. You have to find your particular niche or your target market and cater to that audience. And typically, that goes back to being yourself and figuring out what you're all about. Establish yourself with some principles and things that you want to represent, and your vibe will attract your tribe. And you can really speak to that audience more directly now because you have, a message for them. You have a story to tell them, and you have something to represent that they're on board with. And you can all become a tribe together, right? And that's key in the business world, so that you have specific things you can shoot for, these targets to shoot for. And you can then, gauge what exactly it is that you need to do, and you can set up a game plan and a business plan around that. And then you can always, like the last tip, continue to grow and build upon that audience and continue to grow your audience. But you have to kind of pick one thing at a time, and you're not going to please everybody, right? That's very important as an artist as well, is, don't try and please everybody. Not everyone's gonna like your music or your art, and that's just, part of life. Everybody has different opinions on things. Everybody likes different things. One song that I might like, it might be my favorite song. There might be a million people that hate that song and never want to hear it, right? And I've been seeing that a lot lately. I just recently put out a song with my homie Red Rain and getting some feedback from it. Some people are really liking it. Everybody's going to give you different feedback. Some people give you general feedback like, oh, it's a great song, sounding good. Some people will be like, I wasn't really feeling that. Like, it was kind of weird. It was hard to really get in the groove of that song. And then, some people are a mixed bag. Some people are saying, I like the ending of the song. It kind of started off a bit dodgy and then it kind of, by the end I was actually liking it. I like the lyrics. So it all depends, right? You can't make everybody happy in this life. So that comes right back full circle to just being yourself and be authentic with whatever it is that you're creating. And, that will resonate with people, right? People like it when we're genuine and we're expressing our truth. Because it can be hard sometimes, right? Sometimes we're a bit shy and we keep things inside. We're afraid to let all these things out and show people our true nature. But the more that we do that and be vulnerable and authentic, then first of all, it feels really good just to do that, right? Just to really express ourselves truly and get these things off of our chest and kind of put them out there in the world. And it definitely takes courage to do that, but it feels amazing. And like I said, people will resonate with that more. And you'll be here for the long term, the more that you can keep it real like that. So yeah, that's all I want to share for today. Hope everyone has an amazing day. And yeah, take these keys. I mean, this can be used for anything, not just business. These are keys for life, right? Just to be yourself. To realize that you don't have to please everybody all the time. Sometimes you're gonna rub people the wrong way, and that's all right. So yeah, that's all I want to share. Have an amazing day. Peace and limitless love.